Yes. Yes, good morning. Siguro kay ma'am. Kanina nabanggit nyo, hindi lang asin alone yung dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng problema tayo in terms of kidney, di ba? Ano po yung mga pagkain na nagko-contribute? Let's say, alam naman po natin masyadong mahal bilihin ngayon. So, ang nangyayari, nag-resort ang marami nating mga kababayan sa noodles. Okay? Kasi yun yung pinakamura pinaka-cheap, at mabubusog ka na. Pero kasabay yung noodles minsan, para lang mapuno yung sinasabayan ng tinatawag nito kanin, di ba? Kumbaga parang nagsisiping ulam yung mismong noodles. Isa ba yun sa nagko-contribute? O ano pa yung mga pagkain na nagko-contribute kung bakit nagkakaroon ng ganitong uri ng karamdaman? Particularly yung mga, siyempre, maalat, diba? Pagkain.
Yun pong yung karamdaman na alta pressure ay yung hypertension. So, katulad nga po na sabi kanina ni Doc, maraming dahilan. So, yung pagkain, isa siya doon sa mga modifiable. And yun nga, sa nangyayari ngayon sa atin na wala namang dalaling mga kababayan natin na talagang yung finances nila, talagang magre-resort doon sa mga pagkain na maaalat. Kasi yun yung sa palatability, di ba? Yung gusto natin may lasa din o ano. So, ang lang natin doon, pwede natin bawasan yung mga alat yung paglalagay doon. Tapos yung tanong regarding sa kung ano pa yung mga pwedeng mag-cause ng alta pressure. So, hindi lang naman kasi yung sa alat. So, meron din yung mga cholesterol, kasi lahat yun magkakasama. So, hindi lang din sa pagkain actually yung din natin, yung kawalan natin ng mga ehersisyo, yung paggalaw. So, yun po basically yung mga dahilan ng alta pressure na pwede natin modify. Pero sa pagkain at pagkain po, karamihan po dyan yung sa mga cholesterol, mga taba, maalat. Yun po ang dahilan ng alta pressure. Na pwedeng magkaroon ng mga komplikasyon sa iba pa natin organ system.
Sabi po ba natin na, kasi hindi kayo magpapapress ko na o magpapaform na ganito kung walang alarming na nangyayari sa bansa natin ngayon on health issues. Sigurado ako meron. Yun yung gusto kong mahagilang. Ano ba talaga yung problema natin? Anong source? At bakit gano'n yung nangyayari sa atin? At nagiging burden financially sa mga tao bayan, hindi lang dito sa Philippines.
Siguro po ako muna po yun. Ako kayo, nagpatawag po tayo ng itong fireside chat. Siyempre, led by National constant partners natin. Mainly because yung NCDs or non-communicable diseases, persistently and consistently nasa top 10 causes of mortality sa Pilipinas. So, ang Philippine Statistics Authority, nag-release po siya annually ng top 10 na nagiging sanhi ng pagkamatay ng mga Pilipino. And walang mintis po yun. Top 1, cardiovascular disease. Top 2, stroke, cerebrovascular disease. Top 3, naglalaro lang siya between diabetes or chronic respiratory disease. Mahabol na nga rin po ako ng kidney disease. No? So, yung mga, ibig sabihin na NCDs, mga hindi nakakahawa. No? And we are hindi parang blessing in disguise siya na nababalik ulit sa spotlight ng NCDs after the pandemic. No? Because alam po natin na during 2020, 2021, 2022, medyo nawala po yung mga servisyo na especially for NCDs, no? Kasi natutok ko lahat sa COVID, sa infectious, no? Sa bakuna. No? And for the longest time din, hindi masyado natututukan ang programa dahil mas nabibigyan ng priority ang family planning, maternal health, no? Immunization. No? So ngayon na medyo na, kasi talagang hindi siya nababago for the past 5-10 years, ganun siya. So, ano yung nangyayari? Saan tayo nagkukulang? No? Lalo naman tayong programa. So, kaya gusto natin i-emphasize na hindi talaga kaya ng health sector alone. No? So, kaya ito yung convening natin. No? It's not just the medical experts, the health sector, kasi food, diba, yung alag, is parang may contribution ang ibang sector, no? Department of Agriculture, Department of Trade and Industry, no? Yung mga tinitinda sa groceries, no? So yung mga regulations, no? So kaya may representative din tayo from si Congressman, no? Na pupunta later, no? Kasi kahit sabihin namin from the health sector na tutugayin natin yung mga kaso nitong NCDs na to, kung hindi nakikita ng ibang sector yung importansya nito at yung kontribusyon na pwede nilang naibigay para mapababa yung mga kaso ng naatake sa puso, naatake sa utak, no? Hindi talaga siya bababa sa top 10 causes of mortality. So yun yung gusto po namin na iparating na urgent siya for the longest time kasi kumbaga pag narinig mo yung kunwari kapitbahay mo na ay may hypertension ka, oo, kasi yung kapitbahay ko rin, yung nanay ko may hypertension. Pero hindi siya masyadong parang nagsiset nag-create ng action sa pasyente. No? As opposed to, kunwari, may malaria ka, may COVID ka, diba? So, parang may alarming na effect sa publiko. So, yun po. Kaya po tayo nandito kasi we want all stakeholders, all sectors to work together para po target po natin ito, problema natin ng NCDs.
Hindi mabay. Parang ako yung moderator eh.
We talk about burden of disease, we don't just talk about mortality, morbidity. So you mentioned already yung sa burden of financial. So that puts dialysis on spotlight, I think, because for 2024 and 2025, yung expenses for PhilHealth is increasing from 38 billion to 50, almost 50 na for 2025. So it's good that we have PhilHealth coverage, and that's even may PhilHealth coverage din tayo for all kinds of dialysis and transplant. So at least may safeguard yung patient when it comes to that. But imagine putting those resources to prevention, like salt reduction, prevent early screening for CKD or NCDs, hypertension diabetes, which are the primary causes for CKD. So, and in the long run, hindi siya nagiging sustainable when you put all your resources dun sa treatment or maintenance.
And to, as an addendum na rin kay Sir
Kay Sir
from
Fran.
DOH, actually lahat naman ng bansa tumataas yung non-communicable disease. Like even Singapore or even OECD countries or in the US or in the European countries. I think the challenge in this country is the high level of premature mortality because of non-communicable disease. No? So when we did a study at PIDS, tayo yung pinakamataas yung premature death due to NCD. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng premature death? Ibig sabihin, maaga namamatay yung mga Pilipinong may non-communicable disease. No? An example, I think mga 56%, if I'm not mistaken, 52 to 56%, no? ang non-communicable death, 56% of NCD death are considered premature. No? So, for example, in Singapore, you would see less than, if I'm not mistaken, about 40%. So, masyado talagang mataas yung premature death due to non-communicable disease. No? And to answer your second question, bakit mataas yung non-communicable diseases in this country? May tinitignan ko yung datos, no? Bakit mataas yung NCD? At yung mga rason, yung mga risk factor na tinatawag. Number 1, high blood pressure. 2 is mataas yung sugar. 3 is kidney dysfunction. So a lot of this is really related to metabolic conditions or metabolic risk factor. And if I'm not mistaken, tayo mataas yung salt intake, diba? Mataas yung salt intake natin in this country. And I also want to as an addendum to our friends from the UH, And I think for the longest time, the onus in addressing non-communicable diseases, particularly hypertension and CKD, is always with PhilHealth. Right now, PhilHealth accounts, dialysis now accounts for around 20%, if I'm not mistaken, of their total reimbursements. No? Imagine that 20% for a single condition. If you compare that to many insurance systems, sobrang taas yung binabayad natin sa dialysis. It's because late stage na eh. When you're doing dialysis, it's already late stage kidney disease, right? So the onus from a political narrative and it's always been, expanding dialysis. Yun yung sagot natin eh. So maraming nagkaka-CKD sa Pilipinas, pero ang laging sagot natin ay dialysis. Itaas yung rates to ngayon from 2,500 naging 4,000, naging 6,000. So the onus of public health intervention in this country in addressing non-communicable diseases has always been PhilHealth. But I think the question now is, ano yung response ng I'm sorry to say this, to DOH, because hindi naman function yun ng PhilHealth eh. Yung public health programs like strengthening, salt reduction sa households, and other preventive services are not really PhilHealth, turf. So if we do not address that aspect, you would always see a rapid increase in PhilHealth reimbursements towards dialysis and late-stage kidney diseases, right? So, and that will have implications on the fiscal health of PhilHealth in the long term, right? And based on our projections, you will still see rapid increase in the number of CKD because tumatanda yung population, yung risk factor tumataas, etc. So if you do not address that, it will also affect PhilHealth's financial viability, and etc. So I think there needs to be a stronger preventive side of these things, and that's why the DOH has a strong position to do this. The civil society, other non-government actor or non-health actors are critical in addressing this burden of non-communicable disease, particularly chronic kidney disease.
Point of clarification lang. When you use the term premature death, ibig sabihin bumabata ba yung population na nagkakaroon ng sakit o namamatay because
Ang premature, ma'am, is ang isang Pilipino nabubuhay on average around 70. So if I'm not mistaken, kung premature death ka, namamatay ka below 70. So premature siya kasi marami ka pang magagawa eh. No, pag 53 ka, namatay ka sa CKD, pwede ka pang magtrabaho eh dahil nagka-CKD ka, namatay ka ng maaga. So yun yung ibig sabihin ng premature mortality. At maraming namamatay na gano'n sa Pilipinas, no? Compared sa other countries. So yun yung mas alarming, not just non-communicable diseases as a whole, but the premature mortality brought by non-communicable diseases in this country. So I think yun yung broad, parang may nuance po siya, no, na when you say non-communicable disease, yung alarming sa Pilipinas is yung maraming maagang namamatay. So yun.
Type of nephrology. You know what the problem is? CKD is a silent killer, silent physician. It has 5 stages for chronic kidney disease. The stage 1 to 4 to 6 asymptomatic. That's why when patient comes in, at syempre mga Pilipino pupunta lang sa doktor pag may nararamdaman. That's always been the problem. So medyo reactive tayo in the sense na yes, we supported yung patients of end-stage renal disease. We're so focused on giving help sa patients na on the end stage. Kaya nga, yes, CKD is rising because one of the top causes is hypertension. No? Mas prevalent na nga yung hypertension.
So that's the number one cause, no? Followed by yung diabetes. And these are all non-communicable diseases, as mentioned, and they are preventable. Yun yung gusto natin na iparating, no? That we can prevent these things. It's true, as of 2025, number one source of the reimbursements in PhilHealth, as much as 36 billion or 3.56 dialysis claims in 2025, equivalent to 36 billion
For
pesos.
single disease.
For one disease alone, no, na end stage pa. End stage renal disease. That means at the 5 stages of chronic disease, no, chronic kidney, then the stage 1 to 4, these are unknown. Big patients, they don't know because they're not symptomatic. So that's the problem, kaya it keeps on increasing. So now, this is the bill is good in the sense that now we're going to be proactive. We want to be ahead of the game. So, kasi pag na-address natin yung prevention, then we will have more savings. And we can allot this 36 billion pesos to other, probably other areas or other, preventive measures. So, yun po yung gusto natin ipalitin. That's why we also at PSM, we're very happy to support this House bill. Kasi yun yung problem namin eh. Baka we can keep up, yung doctor, yung number of doctors equivalent to the number of patients because it keeps on exponentially increasing siya. Mabilis, hindi arithmetic eh, di ba? Ang bilis ng kanyang increase compared sa when we could have prevented it. Yun yung gusto natin iparating din.
I think kailangan din natin realize kung sino itong naapektuhan ng premature deaths. Sa Pilipinas, karamihan ng may premature deaths, yung mga na-mention po kanina, yung mga mahilig mag-ulam ng pancit canton. And ito yung mga low resource families. Kaya napaka-importante na ito. Naalala ko nung sinabi niyo po na ulam as pancit canton as ulam, naging, nung may time po na naging doktor ako sa isang isla. So isla maraming mga fisherman. So iniisip ko noon, pag tinatanong ko sila merong uncontrolled hypertension pumapasok sa clinic, tinatanong ko sila anong diet, ano pong kinakain. Thinking na it would be mostly fish. For us doctors, the healthiest kind of meat. Pero pag tinatanong sila laging delata, pancit canton. And bakit? Kasi mas gusto nilang binibenta nila yung isda nila. Bibili sila ng mas filling, yung mas nakapagusog. And quote-unquote, mas masarap na pagkain pang araw-araw. Kumbaga yung huli nila, mas sa-spread nila for 1 week. So, etong mga kinakain nila, sila po yung nakakataas sa soil, sila po yung mas naapektuhan, sila yung mas maagang namamatay. And ito yung tina-target ng bill, I think, yung pinupush natin, is yung mga pre-packaged processed foods na ultimately, karamihan ng bumibili is yung mga walang kaya, mga walang option, just because most accessible, cheapest na pagkain for these fishermen, for these people, ay itong mga pancit canton and delata. So I think huwag natin kalimutan, mag-iisip natin mga Pilipino maagang mamatay because of this. Considerably in an equitable perspective, yung mga mas mahirap, ang mas nadadali itong mataas.